Yo, what's going on, guys? Winner Kills here, and welcome to a brand new locals feature match. Here we are in round 3 for the week. I know this video is going up late again. The past couple feature matches have gone up late, but I've just been very busy the past couple days. You know, with other things in life, and also just YCS prep. YCS Hartford is coming up quick, man. It's just 5 days away as I'm recording this on the 28th, man, and I'm very, very excited for it. If anybody else is going, I'll be very, very excited to meet people there, and it's gonna be a fun experience. So get to go with a bunch of friends. So yeah, definitely looking forward to that. So those are the reasons why the videos have been a little bit late, but let's take a look at this match here. We got Branded Despia on the left versus Cyber Dragons on the right. This is obviously new ban list. This is actually recorded the day the ban list went into effect. So completely fresh format here. We're going to see our Despia player on the left here end up winning die roll, getting to go first here. The Allure build. Going to activate 2 Allures to get into an Aliber. Aliber is going to go ahead and grab Brand Infusion here. And I believe this player was on Adventurer Despia before, but has switched over to the Allure version, as the Adventurer builds typically don't play Allure of Darkness. So that's kind of like a telltale sign of how they're not on the adventure package. So we're going to see him activate Albion the Shrouded Dragon in hand. It's going to go ahead and send a Branded opening from deck to grave to go ahead and put itself to the bottom, to go ahead and draw. And yes, since it was returned from the hand to the bottom of the deck, you do get to draw. If it is returned from the grave, they do not get to draw a card. There's one important interaction surrounding Albion the Shrouded Dragon. Specifically, if they put it back from the grave, they do not get to draw. Card specifically says then if this card was in the hand, I believe, or something of that effect, you get to go ahead and actually draw the card. So now we're going to go ahead and see him resolve the Branded Fusion, and we're going to go ahead and see him dump the Albaz and the Despian Tragedy. No Ash Blossom Enjoy Spring here. 100% guaranteed way to check for Ash is if that Branded Fusion resolves, because 90% of the time, you know, it's just an Ash magnet. So it looks like we're going to see Lubellion, Chainlink 1, Despian, Tragedy, Chainlink 2, discarding, I think, another Tragedy for cost. And we will see an Infinite Impermanence on the Lubellion to attempt to negate. I personally probably would have impermed the Aliber. That's typically something I try to... Like, I think imperming Aliber is like a pretty good place to start. Because if they have Branded Fusion, or if they have Branded in red, they can do basically what they just did here. If you wait for the Lubellion, they can basically just dodge the Imperm, still resolve Lubellion, and get an additional fusion on top of it. And sometimes if you just hit the Aliber, it stops them from getting to Branded Fusion. I guess you could argue they could do the same thing if they have Branded in red to try to help play around it. But keeping them off Branded Fusion, at least trying to keep them off Branded Fusion for the most part, I feel is pretty good. It's something I usually tend to do, like if I don't open up Ash against this deck, sometimes either imperm the Aliber, or you just kind of hold the imperm for like a Mirror Jade or something of that effect. So we're just going to see him go ahead into the Mirror Jade, and then we're going to see him use the field spell, the Despian Theater, the Branded Theater, to go ahead and actually fuse one more time to go into Masquerade, and then we're going to see the Ad Libitum. We're going to go ahead and bring back the Mirror Jade. So now he has Mirror Jade, Masquerade, and the Dragostapelia here. So he has 3 interruptions, 2 interruptions here technically. The Masquerade, not really an interruption, just kind of a problematic card you definitely have to address at some point in your combo, especially if you are a very heavy combo deck that takes a while to get a board built. You know, you're going to be paying a lot of life points, especially if there's 2 Masquerade on field, right? That's 1,200 every card effect, and I believe that gives you about 7 effects. And then, you know, from there, you're just done. So we'll see our Cyber Dragon player here lead with a Cyber Dragon into Jizukiru to go over top of the Dragostapelia. And that's going to allow this Cyber Dragon core to successfully resolve, since the 1 negate that the deck is typically capable of putting up has been now removed. But of course, he will start being forced to pay 600 here every time he wants to do something. 600 for the Cyber Dragon core, and 600 for whatever card he decides to activate that he searches off this. Looks like he's adding Cyberload Fusion. And also, I think the only hit Cyber Dragons really took post-ban list was Anaconda, because you guys have probably seen a lot of Cyber Dragon on this channel over the past, I don't know, maybe a year or so. And pretty much all of those builds had one thing in common, is that they all played Anaconda. And a lot of them, I think, were blind going second decks too. But obviously the deck has lost that bit of power, ending on Dragoon or DPE with Cyber Dragon Infinity and a set Cybernetic Overflow. Was their best board and is now really just Infinity Overflow. This deck, I think, has the potential to be played much more as like a control deck, like it was like before we ever had Dragoon, which I thought was like a cool way to play the deck. You know, you can definitely play Floodgates in this deck, like Gozen and Rivalry even, because everything's just like light machines. So, and I think there are some darks. I can't remember if Rampage Dragon's a dark or not, but either way, you get the point. You will still get to resolve this machine duplication, which is huge here. Of course, paying 600 for everything, dropping him down to 62. Summoning out 2 more Ghost Rare Cyber Dragons, by the way. So we'll see if our branded player is going to have a response here. I mean, this is a pretty good point to go ahead and actually have a response if you're going to do one. Yeah, so now we're going to see Mirror Jade effect. And then we're going to see him chain branded in red, targeting Adlib. And then this is going to go ahead and allow him to fusion summon, probably for Guardian Chimera here. And the interesting thing is, like, anything you give the Despia deck, like cards you put on their field, like in this case we're seeing something like Jizukiru, or it could be Contact C, which I thought was going to be a good side deck card post ban list, but it's just not, just because Guardian Chimera exists. And again, anything you put on their field that would be like problematic otherwise, it's just almost like an extender for them, as he's going to be able to fuse off the Mirror Jade and the Jizukiru and using the Adlib from hand. So he's going to go ahead and be able to draw 1, destroy 2, and the Mirror Jade should still resolve here, banishing another card. So being able to remove 3 at this point. So he's going to go ahead and Adlib is actually going to bring back the Mirror, or the Dragostapelia. And we're going to see him draw 1. The Chimera going to just pop the 2 Cyber Dragons. And it doesn't look like Mirror Jade resolved, which is, Mirror Jade definitely should have banished, because he sent the Albion, and I only assume that was for Mirror Jade. So I think our branded player might have just forgotten to resolve the Mirror Jade there. Yeah, I mean, I'm obviously trying to keep track of both people's fields right now at the same time. So I might have missed something. Let me know if I did, but I'm pretty sure that Mirror Jade should have resolved, because I think it was, like, on the resolution of Machine Dupe, it was like Chainlink 1 Mirror Jade, Chainlink 2 Branded Red, target Adlib, Chain Resolve, summon the Chimera, and then Mirror Jade, and then new Chain Chimera, pop 2, draw 1. So should have banished something. I mean, I don't think it's going to matter here, as we're seeing. The Cyberload Fusion is going to go ahead and resolve here, but the Dragostapelia is just going to be able to negate the Rampage Dragon, and that is basically a wrap. And we are into a game 2. We're going to see Cyber Dragon here go first, opening up a copy of Cyber Dragon Hers and a copy of Machine Dupe. And as we've seen several times in the past, this adventure, or this branded Despia deck, not really playing hand traps, main decked. Post side, probably, I've seen some list side Nibiru, and that's really about it. Maybe Ash, but mainly just Nibiru, I think. Just because it's like helpful in those tough matchups that Despia has, like just combo decks in general, and Sword Soul, which Nibiru tends to do very well against those decks. And a lot of people just don't really expect Nibiru. But Cyber Dragon is one of those decks that can easily play around Nibiru. The deck doesn't do a ton of special summoning, and by the time like It's special summoned enough times that you already have Infinity on board. So hers, Machine Dupe. That's 1, 2, 3. Nova 4, Infinity 5. And then we're going to see him like the hers for a Almirage, set 1. And we're going to see him activate the Almirage here, I think, during the opponent's turn. Just to go ahead and protect the Infinity from destruction. Not battle, just destruction. So we're going to see Branded Lost get played, then the Branded Theater. So this will grant the protection of Theater, because I believe Infinity negates activations. So unless Infinity, okay, I was gonna say unless Infinity says negate effects, which I'm pretty sure it says negate activations. Yeah, let's see here. Negate the activation you destroyed. So we're going to see our Despia player here, because I was going to say this normal summon Albaz could be a huge problem for Infinity, because with Brandon Lost up, he will just not be able to negate it whatsoever. But he does have Cybernetic Overflow, which is really clutch here, because he can actually wait for him, obviously, pitch for cost, ditching the Edge of Chain. Pretty good discard here, by the way. Let's get the follow-up Search of Patchwork. But one important ruling again here about the Branded deck is Albaz has to be on the field when it resolves. So you can Ghost Ogre, you can Raigeki Break, like just anything that pops the Albaz when it's trying to resolve will make it so it does not resolve. Ghost Ogre is probably the most common example. So yeah, like, and not only will he be able to clear Albaz, he'll also be able to clear the Branded Lost, which is actually kind of huge, and still has that Omni Negate on board. I honestly, with the things that he has, I honestly don't know if I even would have let the Edgem, or the, not the Edgem Chain, but the Patchwork resolve. Yeah, I don't know if I even would have let that resolve, but it looks like he just doesn't have enough gas to even keep going here. And we're just going to see him pass turn. Cyber Dragon's going to go ahead and just enter the battle phase. Doesn't really have much here besides Jizukiru and one set spell. Not really sure what that is. But he'll swing in for 27 and end turn there. And this is probably going to be the turn where he wished he had negated that Patchwork, because now he has a Poly in hand, which is a way to play a Dark Monster, again, helping him to be able to fuse. And now we're going to see him activate Branded Theater. And, well, Branded Lost is actually off the field, so stopping Branded Theater could have been very strong. But then again, he does have Poly in hand, so, like, this is where stopping that Patchwork, you know, would have been very, very clutch. Because, you know, who knows, maybe Branded Theater would have been his only way to play at this point. I didn't really get a good look at his hand. He might have had another Poly in hand, but, you know, it is what it is right at that point. But, like, this is the great thing about a card like Infinity. It's not like Baron, or something like Savage, right? That has, like, a limited amount of negates, or just one negate. This is an Omni negate every single turn. So you stop the Patchwork, you know, next turn. You stop the Poly the next turn. You stop the Branded Theater next turn, whatever it may be. But now he's going to get access to Quartus. He's going to get access to another Patchwork. And I think he also fused with the Despian Tragedy. So he's going to be able to get access to Albert here as well. And Quartus is going to be kind of a bit of a problem here too. Just because it can zero out the Infinity, which will definitely force an interruption. So we're going to see a droplet on Albert, pitching Jizukiru. We're going to see a droplet in response, sending off Albert to dodge the droplet. Now, droplet still has to negate one thing. So the Quartus is negated and halved right now, because droplet doesn't target, so it still has to negate something. So be able to dodge the droplet, though, on Albert. It's no longer in the field to be able to be negated, so we'd be able to get that Branded Fusion to hand. But now, like, you know, the negates here have traded. Quartus is turned off. The Infinity is turned off here, and I think this is probably just going to be a wrap here. We're going to see Branded Fusion dump the Ecclesia, the Incredible Ecclesia, and the Fallen of Albaz. Probably to go for the Albion, the Branded Dragon, and then Albion effect. Go ahead and banish itself. And the Fallen of Albaz to go for Mirror Jade. And then not sure what he has for extenders. Well, I don't believe he's used the field spell yet to fusion. But that Infinity is at, was 23, it's at 27, but it doesn't really matter anymore since he's just going to use Mirror Jade here, send off the Albion to banish it, and he's just going to go Battle Phase swinging for 3k and 1250 because that Quartus is halved. I don't know if they remember that here, just because, like, I don't know if they just, like, assumed the Droplet just didn't do anything because the thing he was going to Droplet got moved off the field. I mean, that just means he has to hit the other monster on board. Droplet can fizzle, but he's still able to, he sent one, he's still able to hit one. The way Droplet can fizzle is they send two and you don't have two things to negate. But yeah, looks like we're going to see Branded Despia end up winning 2-0 here. The top decked summon limit not going to do too much. So yeah, rough game there for Cyber Dragon. Probably could have gone a different way had you seen the floodgates, but it is what it is. If you guys want to see more of my content, check out one of the videos on the bottom of the screen right now. And last but not least, a huge shout out goes to our Divine Level channel members who are Tweeter0226, Pony Start, Cadillacs84, Justin Lamb, and HZH Cyber. Thank you guys so much as always for extremely kind and generous support of the channel.